You know that picture you have in your head of a university? Yeah, the one with the ivy on the walls, the huge lecture halls. It feels like it's been that way forever. But listen, under the surface, something massive is changing. And it's making all of us stop and ask a pretty fundamental question. What's the point of college in the 21st century anyway? To really get into this, let's start with a real-world problem. It's actually known as Ingrid's dilemma. So, what should she do? I mean, really think about it for a second. There's no easy answer, right? Nothing you could just look up in a textbook. It's messy, it's emotional, it's just complicated. And that right there gets us to the absolute heart of what we're talking about today. What is the real purpose of a university? Is it just a place where you go to soak up information like a sponge only to squeeze it all out on an exam? Or should it be about something more? Should it be about giving us the tools to handle messy, ambiguous, real-life problems, exactly like the one Ingrid's in? You know, that question isn't just some philosophical thing to debate. All across the globe, the old-school university model is under some serious pressure. It's being forced to prove it's still relevant and to change fast.
And this pressure, it's coming from all sides. You've got governments holding the purse strings, employers who need capable hires, and of course the students and their families who are footing the bill. They're all asking the same thing. Are we getting our money's worth here? They want accountability. They want to see real, tangible results.
And this quote right here from Brazil's big National Education Institute really nails it. Governments aren't just cutting checks and hoping for the best anymore. No way. They are getting hands-on, regulating, and trying to guarantee a certain level of quality for the whole system. Okay, so how does a whole country even begin to do that? Let's zoom in on a really fascinating example out of Brazil. They built this massive national evaluation system designed to answer that one huge question. What actually makes a university good?
It's called SINAES. They rolled it out way back in 2004, and its job is to evaluate, well, everything. The universities themselves, the individual courses, even how the students are doing. It's this giant, data-heavy effort to put a finger on what quality really means, and then make sure schools are delivering it.
And just look at how deep they go. SINAES isn't just about test scores. I mean, not at all. It's looking at 10 totally different dimensions. Everything from the university's mission statement to its social responsibility, all the way to the state of the buildings and whether they're financially stable. We're talking about the whole shebang, a truly 360-degree view. Now, does a system like this actually change anything? Oh yeah. This chart shows a crazy sharp spike in the number of schools taking part in these evaluations over just a couple of years. What you're seeing is the creation of a culture of assessment. Basically, the new normal is being constantly measured and evaluated. But, and this is a huge but, there's a big problem. Critics, like the researcher Diaz Sobrino, they point to a major flaw. When you put all your focus on one big exam, what are you really measuring? It's just a snapshot, right? A single moment in time. You're only seeing the final score. You're completely missing how the student got there, the actual learning journey. And that exact weakness, well, that's what cracks the door open for a completely different way of thinking. Okay, so if the old school model of just lectures and a final exam isn't cutting it, what's the answer? Well, that leads us straight to a totally new idea for the classroom, one that's all about using technology to create a smarter, better way to learn. For a lot of folks in education, the answer is something called blended learning. And listen, this is not just about watching recorded lectures at home. It's way smarter than that. It's about mixing digital, online tools with good old-fashioned in-person class time. And the secret sauce? It gives you, the student, way more control over when, where, and how fast you learn. And the upsides are pretty massive. When you do it right, this blended approach actually leads to deeper, more critical thinking. It helps you learn how to manage your own studies, it gets you working with your classmates more, and maybe coolest of all, it gives teachers amazing new ways to see how you're doing, like right in the moment, not just at the end of the semester. All right. That all sounds good on paper, but what does it actually look like? Like, what are the tools? Let's peek inside the modern teacher's toolbox. First thing you'll find, audio. Think podcasts. With free tools like Audacity, a professor can whip up an audio lesson super easily. Suddenly, learning isn't chained to a desk. You can be listening on the bus, at the gym, wherever.
Then there's animation. Forget boring PowerPoint slides. With something like Powtoon, you can create these cool, short animated videos. It's perfect for breaking down a really complex topic and making it stick in your brain.
And what about making things, fun? That's where gamification comes in. You've probably seen platforms like Kahoot. They literally turn learning into a game. A boring review session becomes this high-energy quiz show. It's brilliant for keeping everyone engaged and for a quick check to see who's getting it.
And last but not least, tools for exploration. A web quest might sound a little old school, but the idea is powerful. It's basically a guided scavenger hunt on the internet. It's not just go Google it, it's a structured journey that teaches you the crucial skills of how to find good information, figure out if it's reliable, and then pull it all together.
So you take all this, the pressure on universities to change, and this incredible new digital toolbox. What do you get? What's the point of it all? Well, it adds up to a new end goal, a new mission for education, to create a future-ready student. This right here is the big shift. It's moving away from the passive learner, the student who just sits there, gets information dumped on them, and memorizes it for the test. The now is all about the active learner, someone who actually constructs their own knowledge, who works with others to solve problems, and who has the skills to keep learning long after they've graduated. And let's be real, the world that graduates are walking into is complex. Just look at this thing. Don't even try to read the text. Just look at the tangled web of it. This is the actual process for 2 universities to get a simple agreement signed. Memorizing facts is useless here. What you need is the ability to understand messy systems like this. That's the real skill.
And this isn't just something professors are pushing for. Students themselves feel the difference. I love this quote from one student. They said, "When you get to build the lesson yourself, learning becomes pleasurable and practical. It stops being this thing that happens to you and becomes something that you do."
So let's bring it all the way back to the beginning, back to Ingrid at that party, facing that awful dilemma. When you're up against a problem like that, a problem with no right answer in a book, who is better equipped to handle it? The student who is trained to memorize lectures, or the one who is trained how to think?